Hello, welcome to the First Issue Club podcast. We're your weekly comic book reading club where, just like Sue Storm, we love a good read. And as the name implies, we're talking a lot of first issue comics, the most accessible kind. A jumping on point for new fans, a revisiting point for old fans. Man, the excitement of a new story. What's better than this? Tell me.
I don't know. I agree with you. It's why I'm a co-host of this, and my name is Greg.
I disagree, and that's why I'm a co-host, and my name is Vargas.
Such is the essence of the show that I so graciously host, and I'm Mike D.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, nothing.
That was a fire intro.
It really was.
Appreciate that. This is a self-congratulatory segment we do every week.
Applaud ourselves
Great
for doing
intro.
the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm. We remembered the thing we always say.
And we took our antidepressants. We're all good.
I didn't clear my throat beforehand, so very scratchy.
Oh, fucking amateur hour.
Look, if there's one thing that's important to a podcast, it's upfront branding. You got to nail the first 10 seconds, everything
Or
else.
people are going to get bored
right.
and jump off.
Nothing else matters.
This week on the Patreon, I uploaded a video of my new slabs that I opened.
Woohoo!
Mike D's Haulathon Slab Edition.
Got a lot of stuff signed by Chris Claremont, Roy Thomas, books signed by Chip Zdarsky.
Never heard of him. Creator of Batman.
This is one thing where Chip Zdarsky doesn't really do conventions anymore.
No, he's starting to again.
Is he really? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. This was one where, so my Daredevil #1 from Zdarsky got a 9.8, which I was really stoked on because I was like, it's kind of getting rarer and rarer to be able to get your hands on his signature, but maybe that's not the case anymore.
Well, I mean, he lives in Canada, so he's doing mostly like Canada cons and little shops around there. Will he ever make it to the U.S.? I hope so, but it may be like a C2E2 or a New York Comic Con situation.
His line would be massive at this point.
Yeah.
You would think he's been off cons since COVID.
Yep, and has since done well. I think since he stopped doing cons, Daredevil and Batman both came out, right? He wasn't still doing them when those started.
Yeah. No, it was COVID, and then boom, Daredevil, and then boom, Batman.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, these creators come into our country. They take all of our comic book writer jobs. That's why I support not building the wall. See, I flipped it.
Yeah, break that wall down. Let's get more Chip Zdarsky's
More Chip
over here.
Zdarsky's, please.
Let's let them scurry across the border and hang out.
You guys can have Rob Liefeld,
Yeah, for free.
and we will take another Chip Zdarsky.
If you want to see that video, go to patreon.com/firstissueclub. Also, over on the Patreon, we have a lot more episodes and videos other than us showing off their comics, where we are recording one tonight where we have a few games to talk about and a few other variants that we bought. So go over
We're not going to play games. We're going to talk about them.
Yeah, we're just going to talk about games.
All right,
because I totally made a game, then we're not going to play it.
Yeah, we're going to discuss the game.
Yeah, I've printed off the rules of Monopoly, and we are going to discuss if it is,
Excellent.
arbitrary.
Too long of a game.
Monopoly? Yes.
Don't have the patience for it. I've never finished.
I think how you win Monopoly is you own all 4 railroads. I don't think anyone discusses that.
Is that really?
I think that's how you win Monopoly.
No, that is not how you win Monopoly. You win Monopoly by taking everyone else's money.
Yeah, right.
Well, then that's why that game is longer than Risk.
I think you ultimately have to own everything.
No, you just have to own the other people on the board. Just like in real life.
I just go straight to jail and get a Netflix series.
Oh, dope.
That's how I do it.
That's a great idea.
Who is this in reference to?
I don't know.
Tiger King.
Tiger King, the kid who maybe killed someone but didn't.
Yeah, making a murderer.
Making a murderer. Who else? Orange is the New Black.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that one.
Locked Up.
Nice.
Orange is the New
Jail
Black.
is so hot right now. You
It
don't
was-
even realize.
Orange is the New Black and Making a Murderer were so long ago, though, right?
In the zeitgeist, sure, but, they're timeless.
Yeah, they were like 5 years ago, Greg.
Wow.
Hot right now, as in this millennia. Orange is the New Black kind of like kicked off Netflix, didn't it?
It was one of their first biggest hits.
Yeah.
It was one of their biggest hits for sure. I don't know.
One of the first originals, anyway, that was like a big deal.
Well, yeah, you got to see girls kissing.
I think Lilyhammer was their first like actual.
Wow, I didn't realize that was a Netflix thing.
Yeah, that was their first ever made in-house product.
For some reason, I thought that was HBO because it wasn't TV.
It just looked like it. That's why everyone loved it. Before we get too far into the episode, I want to give a quick shout out. I showed up on the Short Box podcast with our friend Botter to talk about the Flashpoint series and the cultural impact it had on DC Comics and cinema and TV at large. The new Flash movie coming out is basically lifting that story and putting it on the big screen. The Flash CW did its kind of version of Flashpoint on there. So shout out to those guys for having me on to talk about that for a little bit.
I heard the movie's very good.
It is very good.
Which is odd. It shouldn't be good.
Yeah.
With everything that surrounded it in making it, and Ezra Miller and his crazy ass.
Yeah.
I think they just had a formula for fun, and it was refreshing for people. But yeah, a lot of the reviews that I read were very much so like, it's a complicated fun. Like, I don't feel great about like loving it.
It's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, it's like in the back of your head the whole time you're thinking this is problematic when you should be thinking, oh, this is so much comic book payoff.
I've told so many people I don't know if I'm going to go see this in theaters because just Ezra Miller is someone I just really can't support right now.
Yeah.
And I just hate going to movie theaters.
That is true. They always burn your popcorn. I don't understand it.
Even though tragedy feels good in a place like that, I don't know if I could do it.
Do you like that commercial?
I'm not gonna. Okay, so now we know, super corny, really dorky. The first time I saw it, it kind of got me.
Okay.
It kind of got me a little.
I mean, it's been memed into oblivion.
Yeah, right.
It really is like this Mason-Dixon line of just like, I love that commercial or I fucking hate that commercial.
I think we got such a heavy dose of emotion and advertising during COVID stuff. And then when you started to see like the light at the end of the tunnel and movie theaters started opening up again, there was just a little emotion surrounding that. And Nicole Kidman's a great actress and did some good line reads in that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
It got me. Oh, that's another thing.
Oh, no.
You always forget, or at least I do, that she's Australian because she almost never plays Australian.
Yeah.
Except in the movie, Australia, with Hugh Jackman. It's a real movie.
How about it? And is Keith Urban Australian?
Maybe.
Sure.
That's another one where he's just like, he's like a country singer, right?
Yeah.
It's weird for him to be Australian.
Weird.
Country singers?
Australia is a country.
Well,
He's
you
got you
me
there.
there.
Yeah, checkmate.
I think that commercial could have been improved with like two
Nudity. I agree.
two normal people in the crowd. Like
She's a theater to herself.
that's what makes it weird, is that it's just Nicole Kidman in the theater.
If you were zooming in on other people's reactions while she's doing the VO.
Or at least if she like
They're like,
sits,
shut the fuck up.
if she sits down and there's like other people in the theater. Because I always got the vibe that like, oh, she's definitely watching a Nicole Kidman movie.
Right.
Like,
She's watching the others, just
Yeah.
like, man, I was good in
I
this.
was so good.
G'day. I'd like to put this film on the Barbie. Anyway. So, yeah, look out for that episode coming June 14th, right before the movie drops. And then, do you guys want to talk about some comic book news?
Hit me with it, big boy.
Have you seen that Kelly Thompson has announced her new project that she's going to be doing? And it's not at Marvel.
Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey on DC.
And Leo Romero's doing the art, and I love him.
Fucking incredible. And she's slowly been dripping out who the team's going to be. So as of this recording, we have Black Canary, Cassandra Cain.
Two that are like, yep.
Fuck yeah.
Makes sense.
3, Big Brada.
Hell
Curveball.
yeah.
Huge
Yeah,
curveball.
And the 4th curveball is from Wildcats,
Yeah.
Zealot.
Sure.
Which is, she has like the swords and stuff, right?
Yeah, I think they've got one mortar. It's a 5-person team.
Yep.
right?
So we get our final reveal on Friday.
I think Zealot, everyone was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, anything is possible.
Any guesses on who the 5th member will be?
I saw some comments in the Instagram post from Leo Romero where, like, they want to see one of the girls from Gen 13.
Holy shit. My brain would melt.
I was like, with the cast they've already got, if they threw in. I can't remember the name of the gal with, like, the short hair with the purple highlights.
Oh, right. I can't either.
But it's like she's got a certain vibe that the rest of the team kind of has, like, a weird outsider indie comic feel. Big Barda especially.
Big Barda.
Is it Brada or Barda?
I think it's... I have it Brada. Barada.
Barada. Okay.
I don't know. I could have been reading it.
I don't know. She could tell me
way.
whatever she wants her name to be pronounced, and I'll say, yes, queen.
Yes, ma'am. Step on me, mommy.
Yeah. I think the 5th member should be like Tomb Raider or something. Just like something fucking crazy.
I was going to say Tulip O'Hare from Preacher.
Now, okay, you joke, though.
I know.
That would be incredible. Death from Sandman.
There it is. All DC properties.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, it's Silk Spectre. That's who it is from Watchmen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely feels like every announcement has been a little like, oh, that's unexpected. That's even more unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one you would kind of expect to be like the most surprising.
It's either going to be the most surprising or the most like, oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, it's either going to be Harley Quinn or a new character.
Right.
Created for the book.
What's the
They really don't have a person in the chair role yet. Like someone who's at home base feeding them.
So you're just gonna have Oracle be the last?
Could be Oracle. It could be.
That would be pretty cool.
You know, I mean, who knows? I can't even think of anyone good that would be in that position.
I was surprised to see the one Batgirl without the other, without Stephanie Brown.
Mm-hmm. So I wonder if that means that Batgirls is wrapping up.
It is, unfortunately.
Oh, bummer.
Yep.
It would be really cool if they brought Bluebird back from Scott Snyder's Batman run.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fun to speculate, but we won't have to speculate for much longer because they're going to announce it tomorrow.
I love these guessums that we do.
And that was guessums.
It could be anything. By the time we release this,
God damn it,
it'll probably be known.
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll be old news.
To record an addendum reaction show. On
We can
Instagram.
edit
An apology video.
We can edit all this out.
Folks, we apologize for saying Tomb Raider was going to be in the new Birds of Prey. My next order of news, which basically kind of shuts every piece of news out because it is the biggest news hit of the century. Predator is officially Marvel canon with its team up with Predator vs. Predator vs. Wolverine. It's a 4-issue miniseries that will reveal a decades-old rivalry between one alien hunter and the mutant who's best there is at what he does. Here's the kicker. Yes, that sounds fun. Writing it, Benjamin fucking Percy.
Yeah.
The dude you want on this fucking book.
Do you remember when I said this is the book they should make?
Yeah.
On this podcast.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
You 100% said it. We'll go back and we'll pull the audio.
Yeah.
We'll bill Marvel.
Except I think I said Ed Brisson should write it. Which,
that's fine.
What are you going to do?
Yep.
I'm allowed to be wrong.
There's their loophole.
Yeah. I'm stoked about this book.
I'm fucking jazzed because this opens the door for a million fucking cool variant covers.
Yep.
And then if this is successful, which it is, it's a 4-issue series. I mean, sky's the limit now.
Dude.
Of who Predator can fight and who the alien thing can fight,
Yeah.
and then who Planet of the Apes can fight. Like, sorry.
Aliens versus Predator versus Planet of the Apes versus Marvel.
Yeah.
Put it in my veins.
Versus Marvel Apes.
Okay, now.
Oh my God, Planet of the Apes versus Marvel Apes.
Too much. Too much brain synergy. Okay, I'm going to ask a very stupid question. I am not a Predator fan, not on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like I hate it.
Yeah.
I just like have never really been exposed.
Not believable.
I just missed it in the cultural zeitgeist.
Sure.
Predator.
Mhm.
It's singular. Is Predator a species?
So the Yatja is the species of predator.
Okay.
Let's get a full stop on that. He knew the alien race of the predators.
Yeah, man. It's part of the Alien franchise.
6 times
Yes.
213.
No, no,
I knew they
that's
were-
not my type of autism. Okay.
I knew they were related to Alien.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least they like hunted Alien.
Correct.
Because Alien were like
They hunted everything.
some
I
of the
guess,
greatest game, right?
Yeah. The alien.
Aliens.
Yes.
right? Xenomorphs.
The xenomorph.
Xenomorphs is a better way to put it, yeah.
Is part of the predator, like ritual of becoming an adult. You have to hunt a xenomorph.
No
and
shit.
kill one. Yeah,
Oh fuck, that's cool.
that's part of their thing because
Did
it's
that
like
species create the xenomorphs?
No.
Because xenomorphs were like genetically engineered to be like
Well,
killers, or
Isn't it like the big giant white things that were in?
It depends on what canon you're talking
Okay.
about.
Oh hell yeah,
this is the stuff that people tune in for,
yeah.
and the stuff I like
Spill
hashing
it.
out.
Spill it.
Explain to me,
So there's
knowledge,
basically
daddy.
there's basically two schools of thoughts. One is that
Dewey Decimal Me.
one is that the engineers, the big white guys
Yes.
from like Prometheus
Mhm.
and Alien Covenant, created the black goo, which in turn created the aliens,
yeah.
the xenomorphs.
This is how I've interpreted the story.
So xenomorphs are symbiotes.
Yeah, kind of. The goo that created them
Mm-hmm.
mutates bodies into xenomorphs.
Whoa,
And
wow.
they're just like kind of the accidental end point of these mutations.
Okay.
The other school of thought is the engineers found xenomorph DNA and weaponized it.
Mm-hmm.
So they found this apex predator on a planet,
Yeah.
whatever planet it was, got their DNA, turned it into the black goo
Mm-hmm.
that they could drop a bomb on a planet and it would
Boom,
turn, it-
alien planet.
Yeah, exactly. Boom, alien planet.
But so can these engineers control the alien species then? Because why would you make something that you can't control?
That is the ultimate idea
Yeah, that's kind of
behind
the lesson in it. In
Prometheus.
Alien,
Yeah.
As you can see, I haven't seen that movie.
It's good.
Yeah.
I liked it. I think it had one of the best trailers of all time.
It has Fassbender in it, right?
Yeah.
And I was so stoked for it. I think it could have never lived up to the hype I'd created for it in my head, but I think it was still a really great movie. I tried to put a lot of importance on it and maybe thought into it more than necessary, but
Mhm.
I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah. It's great.
And I think it's like, same director as the Ridley Scott,
Yep.
right? So it feels tonally a little more like sparse, like the original Alien movie,
Mhm.
which I really like. And then I love something that just kind of gives some like vague, open-ended origin that
Yeah.
lets your like mind run wild about like, oh, we're finding out important things about the creation of these mythoses and yada yada.
Yeah. I'm
Really-
the same way.
Really cool movie. But Predator
Mhm.
is what we were talking about.
Right.
I'm assuming the comics coming up, it's going to be like
So it's set in the time
a
when
guy, like one Predator.
yes, it's one predator, and it's set in the time when Wolverine is Weapon X.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in that time frame when he's just like kind of running around the wilderness naked with just tech on him,
Yeah.
that's when it's going to be set.
And I'm so stoked for this.
It's going to be wild. And if they don't make it just balls to the wall bananas, then
I mean, Benjamin Percy's writing it. It's gonna be
so that there
balls
is
to
some
the
hope
wall.
there. And I guess there's multiple artists on this book.
Okay.
So I don't understand why that is, but maybe each new issue is drawn by a different artist.
It'd be cool if it was like throughout the era,
Mhm.
because like in the Predator movie, predators have been coming to Earth for like hundreds of years, hunting people. So
Yeah.
it'd be sick
Mhm.
if it's like,
That's what happened to Amelia Earhart.
yeah, she actually. A lot of people don't know that got killed by a predator.
Yeah, she was one of our apex hunters.
Some people think it was coconut crabs that ate her bodies. Nay.
Nope.
She's actually fighting predators.
Still fighting.
Still to
fighting.
this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear she's actually training them.
She is the predator.
Yeah.
She's taken up the mantle of predator.
DB Cooper, also
Also a predator. He got taken right out of the
also
sky.
a predator. Al Capone's wealth that used to be in the
In the vault.
in the vault
Uh-huh. Also a predator.
became sentient.
Mm-hmm. The Big Bopper.
He went missing.
No, he just died in a plane crash.
Everyone who's died in a plane crash becomes a predator. That's actually what heaven is. So take comfort, everyone.
just go up
9/11
to
was
the
actually just a big
Big trip to
exodus to heaven.
Well, oh boy.
What are we talking about?
Wolverine versus Predator.
Yeah.
There was a line of thinking there that I was excited by.
Wolverine
through the eras.
Through the eras. Yeah.
Yes, that you could have like Civil War era Wolverine fighting Predator, and
Yeah.
you could also have like
He just keeps coming across them.
Vietnam era Wolverine.
That would be
fighting
so
a Predator.
sick.
Well, I guess that makes sense because like word would spread. They're just like,
Yeah.
okay, Earth has this one dude
This guy
who's a
who's
fucking
like-
menace.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
He is disrespecting all of our warriors. He
cannot-
killed Bruce like a chump.
Yeah, he cannot be killed. He just regenerates.
Wouldn't that be so cool?
Yeah, that'd be
I
actually
really hope
pretty
that's what
fucking
they
rad.
Yeah. I've always thought. I remember when
The big bopper.
Marvel got aliens that the Brood in X-Men were always just like a fill-in for aliens.
Sure.
More or less. I don't know when the dates aligned there about like when they were writing Brood comics. It might have been like right after the first movie
That would make sense.
came out.
That I have no idea.
But
First movie was 79.
yeah, it was probably right around the same time. But in any case, I just thought it'd be really fun if they just transposed like that and just had the X-Men fighting aliens.
Dude,
on
X-Men versus Aliens,
Shi'ar
honestly,
planet
yeah.
would be really fun.
So the
Honestly.
first time the Brood appeared was Uncanny X-Men 155 in March of 82.
82, so 3 years later.
Yeah. Totally tracks.
I mean, visually, it's easy to make the comparison between the Brood and Xenomorph.
Yeah.
So
And kind of how they like take over your body
Yeah.
and turn you into a
Brood.
a brood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very similar thing. They've got the like brood egg.
Yeah.
A lot of similar
10 things you need to know about the Brood. Thanks
Well,
our listicle for
They
the
are
Patreon.
aliens, too. They are mean.
But I love Benjamin Percy. I think that sounds fun. If I was more of a Predator fan, I'd probably be like so stoked for it. But at the same time, there's a hint of like it's other IP. I'm having a harder time getting like totally stoked on it because of that.
All right, check this out. The Brood are inspired by aliens, xenomorphs.
Okay.
Chris Claremont and Dave Cockrum thought the disturbing design and intention of the film Xenomorphs would be perfect for Marvel's X-Men.
There it is.
So
Confirmed.
Yeah.
there is some inspiration drawn from that.
You know, the funny thing is, growing up like a child of the 90s, is that you don't associate X-Men that much with outer space because we grew up on the cartoon, and that's kind of how we got introduced to the X-Men.
Yeah.
And then by the time we were buying comic books, it was like Onslaught and a lot of Earth-based stuff.
Yeah.
And as an adult, you go back and you're just like, man, so much outer space fodder.
Did they
Like,
ever get to Earth?
yeah, I know. They're just in like space for so long.
Why do people still hate them? They've been in space for 9 years.
And I do love that that's like during this like Dawn of X, Death of X stuff that they're doing, they're kind of bringing that back. And I thought Sword was really fun, and
Yeah.
putting mutants on Mars was really fun.
Rise and Fall of the Shi'ar Empire is one of my favorite X-Men stories. I love that.
Good stuff.
What else? What other news?
That's all the news I have for right now. I mean, those are the two big bombs that I had.
And they were good
Kelly
ones.
Thompson on new DC book, and Predator is now Marvel canon.
Well, that's it. All we need is just a sentence or a taste
Just a hit.
of what's to come, and we can rattle on for days.
Yeah. We were built for the podcasting world, my friend. Let's get into the books we read.
I read Bettie Page numero uno.
Fucking so did I.
Did you? All right. I was like, what's a book that neither of you guys are going to read? That was honestly like why I read that one first.
Well, sell me on it, boys.
All right. It's from Dynamite. It's written by Mirka Andolfo and Luca Blengino. Art is by Elisa Ferrari and Mara Angelilli and Tommaso Ronda. Mike, take it away.
This comic book, I would give to an 8-year-old.
Absolutely.
And be like, hey, here's a fun story about a woman who's trying to figure out how to have it all. And it was just like a fun mystery that was very accessible. It was not, given who Mirka Andolfo is and the kind of books that she's written, I expected this to be like a very juicy comic book.
So it was surprisingly unhorny.
Yeah, the only horny thing about it was the cover. Other than that, absolutely nothing.
So it was definitely a Dynamite book.
The whiplash I got from cover to content, I was just like, whoa, this does not match up at all.
And the art style is like very cute, very fun. It reads like a boombox comic.
Oh, wow.
Do you guys remember the book Goldie Vance?
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that, of just like, teen adventure mystery book. And I wasn't expecting that when I picked up a Bettie Page book, especially written by Mirka. And I was pleasantly shocked and surprised.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I think it's hard for Dynamite to step away from sexy covers because I think they make a lot of money on that. I think
they pay the bills.
There's a lot of old heads who love pinup art and just buy these comics and their variants, and they've got their go-to artists that people are fans of, and those people know how to draw women. I mean, for better or worse, if you like their style or the clothing they put them in, the positions they put them in, they've got like that very specific niche art down and know what those kind of fans like. To me, a lot of times I feel like it's to the detriment of the comic, because I've read like I really enjoyed the Vampirella Red Sonja comic, and I would not have bought that if it weren't for Leonardo Romero's covers, who did this like cartoony fun pop art style with them that wasn't over the top, but I just love his art style. And then I read that book, and again, it's like they allude in those to a little bit of like, ooh, are Red Sonja and Vampirella being like a little cheeky with each other, but they create this like bond over time, and they're like friends throughout eras and decades while they're time hopping. And it's really a story of two women who are kind of like immortal and have found this like transcendent friendship that continues through the eras, and they always find each other.
I can't wait until we're repeating this review for Wolverine vs. Predator.
The love story we didn't know we needed.
Yeah.
I wish I knew how to quit you, Logan. You and your crab face.
But it really is. I think you sometimes see the women who are authoring these comics, and you're like, why would you write this comic? It's like smut, and it's like disrespectful to women. And then you read the comics and you're like, no, women have been writing these comics and telling like beautiful stories about friendship with women and power with women and all this great stuff in these books for years. But you just assume that they're trashy.
Yeah. It's us men who are the problem, who have written the smut previously.
Yeah. And I think that's and I don't know if it's the women behind the comics who are like, I want Erica Henderson to do a cover for this, who started doing a lot of Dynamite covers, and her art is fun, and she draws like very
whimsy,
curvy women, and will do whimsical stuff, and doesn't kind of, go to those like male gazy sort of art styles. And that speaks a lot more to the spirit of what's in the comic than the traditional covers do. And I don't know. It's hard to tell, because there are certainly books at Dynamite still where you're just like, yeah, this is gross. Like, this is just an excuse for, like...
This is to make covers.
Women to make out, like, on the covers and on the interiors. And the people buying this, like...
Yeah.
like, aren't necessarily, like, pride LGBTQ, like, friendly people, but they're, like, women making out. I do like that part of it,
They don't have access to the internet,
like,
so
it just makes you think of these grimy people who... But... Yeah, I don't know. This book was just refreshing because of that, because it was just so surprising.
Yeah.
Where I really expected, and I think Mirka and Andolfo could have done something very like horny with this, and I probably would have liked it too, because she's great.
Yeah, she's sex positive and knows how to write a sexy story.
Sex positivity, right?
Yeah.
And I think you could also probably tell a sex positive story with this character without immediately being like, where's the dicks in the first issue? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, ease into it. Set up a story arc first before you, like...
Where the dicks at?
show that this character is, like, so sex positive that she's, like, being horny all the time.
And I think it's even kind of... With Bettie Page, it's even grosser because she was manipulated so much in her life to be this pinup artist, and she was taken advantage of, and, like, her... likeness was used without her permission. So, like, to actually have a positive story with her name attached to it is, like, just a nice bow to put on it, of just, like, she's more than this sex pot that didn't really have much say in what happened. Yeah. And now to give her more of some more agency and some more, character, it's cool. That's what I really loved about it.
So Mirka and Andolfo is from Italy, and in this story arc, Bettie Page gets taken to Italy because a director sees her, some photos of her, and is like, I'm obsessed. This is my new muse. I'm going to put her in my movie. I don't care that she can't speak Italian. We'll just dub over her just being like, blah, 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 blah in the shots. And
spaghetti. Italian.
And then weird stuff keeps happening, and her secretary is like, I think something's wrong is afoot. And they inspect it and look into it a little more, and they find a woman who looks just like her.
Right, like
an
identical twin.
Yeah, that's like the cliffhanger, is like, there's another woman who looks just like Bettie Page.
So is Bettie Page like a detective? Is that...
We're going to find out. This definitely has like a weird mystery theme hooked to it.
I think
that's kind of cool.
In this comic, it seems like the secretary
is going to be
like the Velma, who is like actually interested in like solving the thing. And then Betty's kind of like, I'm here for my movie.
Yeah.
And like, I'm tired of getting like screwed on all these contracts, and like I finally got a break, and don't read too much into it. We're having fun, but
then she sees her doppelganger,
and then she sees her doppelganger, and things are gonna go the other way. But the other woman is kind of playing the detective part.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I was pleasantly surprised by this book, to be honest.
And then she's got her agent, who is just like, money, money, money.
Yeah.
But like, all right, well, I'll look into it for you guys, but like, don't mess it up for the money. Which again is like, if you're going to be true to Bettie Page, having a man in the picture who's like, does that make us money though?
Yeah.
Is definitely...
Betty, does that make us money? No, sir.
But I guess they handle it in a way that's like, he's a fun character now instead of a depressing, sad one.
Right.
But it's still a part of her story.
Yeah.
Cool.
I read In Hell We Fight.
John Layman, right?
Image Comics from John Layman and Jock.
Oh, I didn't realize.
J-O-K.
Yeah.
Oh, different Jock.
Different Jock. This is a story about journey through hell.
Dope.
And you get the setup of like what hell is and why these characters are there. And this main lead character that we're following was dragged to hell by a demonic frog because he was killing other frogs. So now they're just like traveling through hell with like this demon that they've befriended to figure out how to like take down the hierarchy and like maybe eventually get out of hell. And it's very cool. It's a really easy setup for number one. Some light exposition, some setup. The character design's really great. Each character, like of this 3-pack that are walking around hell, have like they're each unique personality. Like one kid is like haunted by a cursed hatchet that's in the back of his head, and so whenever he pulls it out to hand it to someone, a new one grows in its place. So like he has like an unlimited supply of weapons, and there's this like other girl who's like always in control and like very bossy, and it was very cool. It was very fun. It was a typical John Layman book, which is not a diss. It is a praise, because every John Layman book I've read has just been an absolute heater.
Oh, the characters we're following were killing frogs?
One of them was. So like it was like kind of like
Are we rooting for ill will for this character?
We don't really know. Like the kid just hates frogs, and so like he was smashing a frog. A demonic frog showed up and like plucked him with his tongue from Earth straight into hell.
Yeah.
And so now we're just following them through hell. We don't really cheer for them or jeer for them.
Okay. Not dead.
He
Pulled living to hell.
I think he would die in the process. He doesn't look great.
Yeah. So is this a died and gone to hell, or is this like a Constantine, where he's still a living guy walking through?
We
Not
want to
really.
know the rules of hell. You said at the top of this, so we figure out what hell is.
Okay.
You gotta tell us what hell
The
is.
first
here,
ever
bud.
6-hour-long episode. In Genesis, we are given. No, I'm kidding.
Is this a literal hell or a metaphysical hell?
I am in hell right now. It's left to the reader to decide. I'm sure it'll be explained as the series goes on.
Yeah.
Just have fun with it. It's a good time.
Got it.
Characters have some witty banter back and forth. The imagery of these big demons in hell is really cool. Out on Image Comics, I thought it was great.
Sounds dope.
That's all I wanted to hear.
Did John Layman write Outer Darkness?
Yes, because it crossed over with Chew.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, did it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
I really liked it, and I never finished it.
Outer Darkness was really, really good.
I need to maybe buy that one in trade.
One of the best crossovers ever was Nail Biter.
And Chew.
Nail Biter Chew.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they did that crossover.
I love that they did crossovers with Chew.
It's really funny.
Do that more
It's
often.
very funny.
I think they did a revival too, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, really funny.
So silly.
It's great seeing like a Jenny Frison revival cover, but with
Chew characters.
Chew characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a chicken.
Just have Jenny Frison do Poyo.
I also read You've Been Canceled by MadCave. It's written by Curt Pires, who did It's Only Teenage Wasteland and Indigo Children.
Why does this sound familiar? Did that come out this week?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
And it's illustrated by Kevin Castaniero.
Uh-huh.
It is basically set in the future. Our bloodlust for vengeance and righteous revenge,
Humans' bloodlust.
yes, has melded with our fascination with social media and television.
Yeah.
And so now it's like a American Idol voting scenario where your life is put up on a screen of like, you've done all these deeds. We as a society have decided that you have been canceled as a person, and these like bounty hunters go out and try to kill you.
Oh, you know what this sounds like? I hate to sometimes compare comics and
It happens.
stories.
Because I had the same thing.
Yeah. What's the one with the two gals who are...
Assassination. No, not assassination, but
No, it was also an image book.
ooh, yeah, because it's gonna be a movie.
Yeah, it got optioned.
Anyway, yeah, it's similar to that of just like, because like one of the main bounty hunters
Because that was like it was like a crowdfunding thing
Mhm.
where you could crowdfund a bounty for somebody, and then bounty hunters go after this person and kill them.
Yeah,
Like she had gone viral.
crowded.
Like
it was crowdfunded.
Yeah. That comic was great. I
Yeah.
think it was like a 12-issue run.
Correct.
I really liked it.
Yeah, and so it's kind of in the same vein as that. Like one of these bounty hunters, his life gets exposed, and so now he has been canceled.
Aha.
And so now he has to escape his own cancellation, clear his name or whatever. The artwork in this is fucking bananas. It is high octane, like balls to the wall imagery of these just bounty hunters, like essentially just like running through these cityscapes, hunting people down, blowing their brains out. It is crazy.
It looked very Daniel Warren Johnson.
There are some hints of that. Yeah.
Who is writing this?
Curt Pires. He did Indigo Children and It's Only Teenage Wasteland.
Yeah, like him a lot.
Yeah. He's also, I think he has like an Amazon show out right now.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
I will say that sometimes I'm wary of things that are a commentary on cancel culture.
I know what you're, okay, go on.
You know what I'm getting at?
Yes.
Is is that a lot of the people who are like, ugh, I hate cancel culture, are people who have shitty opinions on women or queer people.
Sure.
And said something on Twitter or whatever and are like, I got put to shame. And it's like, oh, because people put you
in your place,
make you accountable for the bullshit you say.
Right.
Like you're going to be like, think of how dangerous cancel culture could become. I don't. And it's also been done a lot, I think.
For sure.
I feel like we've just had like so much sci-fi cancel culture shit already.
Yeah, Black Mirror did it. We can be done with it.
Yeah.
Well, given Curt's other books, his idea for this book was just like, let's take this idea to the nth degree of like, what if we were just allowed to do it? Like, what if society was just all agreed upon of like, we can do this. This is a fun thing we do. Like we go to Buffalo Wild Wings and watch You've Been Canceled.
And I didn't read the book, and sometimes these like maximalist takes on cultural ideas are really fun. I would just say I'm hesitant to buy this comic because of that. That would be like my reluctance to.
And I think that name is purposeful. Like it's supposed to trigger a reaction from you.
Oh, trigger me?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Not a chance.
Did I mention that I'm in hell?
I'm no snowflake.
Yeah.
Listen here,
trigger me.
you libtard cucks.
I pull the trigger in this town. Yeah, I'm a welder. My balls drop in the toilet.
And I was born in September.
Yeah.
I'm a welder?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
You ever seen those shirts that are like so like, yeah, I'm a welder. I don't have any filters and I say whatever comes to my mind. Also, I kneel at church and not on the flag.
Yeah.
like
The best shirts of all time. Yeah, we get it.
you get them at any gas station, any Flying J, you can get one.
I get what you're saying. When I think welder, though, I think like union.
No, yeah, I know, but like they can be gruff. You can be in the union and still be a shithead.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Some of my uncles are. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine.
You could participate in something that's good for society and also hate society.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
That's why QAnon exists.
Yeah.
The last book I read was Steelworks out on DC, written by Michael Dorn, a.k.a. Worf from Star Trek.
Yeah, I almost bought this book.
In art by Sami Basri. The book was good. I say that as a just let's get in front of that.
Get that out of there.
The book is good. Michael Dorn was given free range to write as many words as he wanted in this book.
Wordy, okay.
And he took full advantage. He took full advantage of that.
No room for pictures.
There are double page spreads where I was just like, oh, okay, here we go. Like I had my highlighter out. I was like, yeah. But the story it's telling is pretty cool. Of just like Steel is essentially just like, are we needed? Are the super team needed? Like Batman, Supergirl, himself, even
His
like,
daughter.
He's like, I can make these superhero bots, like, and like we can step back and let kind of like let society and let Smallville kind of just take care of itself. Like, are we doing more good than bad with our powers?
I guess he did see Age of Ultron.
Nope, he has that DVR still.
Oh, okay.
He didn't watch RoboCop.
Shooting penises off. So yeah, that's kind of the line it's gonna be walking.
Well, that's interesting because there was one of the issues of this most recent Action Comics arc was kind of Lex Luthor extending an offer to Superman to be like, why don't you lead this privatized security detail firm that'll like enforce justice? And Clark was immediately like, nope, not my jam.
Yeah.
Like, we're not doing this. I'm out of here.
I think you misunderstood what I'm about, Lex.
And it's interesting to hear someone from the Super family be like, maybe some of this like private task force stuff is a good idea.
Yeah. Well, and let's remember that Steel is a little different than all the others from Krypton. Like, he got his powers differently, but he's still in the Superman family, but he may have a different outlook because he has a different perspective of superheroes.
He was a dude originally, just like a dude style dude.
Just
right?
a normal human.
Yeah.
And then was thrusted into this world. And then he started his own company called Steelworks. And so his niece works there. And she also has...
Oh, it's his niece, not his daughter.
Right. So she also has like these steel powers. So, yeah, I mean, it's a great book. I'm glad Steel has a book again. It's such it's a character that we don't really get too much, stories about. So I'm interested to see where it goes. The artwork in it is incredible. Sami previously worked on Harley Quinn, so it's
cool.
Dynamite artwork going on.
Dynamite. You light the fuse of the pencil and let it rip on the page, and boom, that's beautiful art.
Boom, you got Steelworks #1.
I saw. Have you guys been seeing all the swimsuit issue?
Hell,
stuff
fucking yeah! The variant covers for DC.
Yeah, DC.
Yes, I
They're
have.
doing that again. It's summer again, so our heroes are taking their clothes off.
Finally.
Yeah, God, I love this season.
And one of the things I almost got tricked by is they are kind of related to this, and they're doing like cover issues of a lot of different characters.
Yeah.
That'll be like Harley Quinn's best covers, Poison Ivy's best covers, the swimsuit issue best variants. And I saw one for like Batman or Superman, and I was just like, I'm like auto buying Action Comics and Batman right now.
Yes.
And so I like added one to my cart and pre-orders, and then was like, oh, this is just a issue full of covers, so watch out, because they kind
cautionary tale.
They kind of read as like it's an annual or a special or something, and really it's just a bunch of covers. Which, if that's what you want, then great. But I don't care for that.
There's a great swimsuit variant cover out right now by Babstar, who and it's Batman and Superman, and Batman's chest hair is shaved into the bat symbol on his chest. And I love Babstar. I think she's an amazing artist, and I always pick up her covers, but that one I was just like, God damn, that's super funny.
Well, what made me think of this was Steel and his niece. Well, does she have a superhero name?
She's also called Steel.
She's just called Steel.
Yeah.
Okay. But her bathing suit on her cover was just like the Steel stuff, but had like certain parts
missing
left exposed.
Oh,
right?
cool.
And so it was like this kind of like cool techno looking, like a straight line ridge of steel. It was like pixely the way it was shaped. It was cool.
Dig that.
Yeah, it was kind of neat. It was a cool design.
The J. Scott Campbell one's probably my favorite.
Which one's that?
It's Batman and Batman and Catwoman laying down, and Batman's reading a magazine, but the cover is the bat cowl.
Oh.
So it's like right over his and it's from like a top-down view.
Yeah.
It's super funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think I stupidly got the one because it's like 2 covers that are basically the same, and one of them they're all laying in lawn pool chairs, normal, and then the second cover is Supergirl blowing her ice breath on Nightwing, and so like you put them next to one another and they look the same, but in the one next to them, like 2 characters are different and like reacting to the ice breath being blown down his shorts and stuff. So I thought it was very cute.
That's pretty funny.
Cheeky.
All right, books I read this week. First thing I want to point out is the new talent showcase for the Milestone Initiative.
Hell yeah.
I haven't read anything in here yet, but I want to point out this is 12 stories from 24 creators that are all like up and comers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what, 80 pages?
Square bound.
It's $4.
Yeah,
That's how you do it.
So pick this up, please.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they made it so cheap?
They didn't pay them. I don't know.
Sponsorship deal.
Oh, with Ally.
Yes, with Ally. They put it on the cover.
Whoa.
Yeah, see right there?
Now, this is an interesting move.
Kind of a new thing for comics, right? You don't see that often.
Yeah.
That is a smart idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I read the front matter in here, and what they did was they had artists and writers submit like tryouts basically, and they picked 12 of each and ran them through like a week-long course of like how to write a DC comic. And basically said, okay, write something relatively within the Milestone canon that's going on right now, and go nuts. So it was kind of part like talent showcase, part DC training exercise for these new creators.
I love that.
Yeah, that's a great concept.
So
that's almost like the Marvel Stormbreakers idea.
Yeah, except these are like new people that you're probably following on Twitter, and not like Umberto Ramos.
Yeah, that's the thing with the Stormbreakers are already like, wow, you've been like cranking out unbelievable stuff for years. And now we're like, now we're christening you as like here finally.
Nick Klein's been here for 20 years.
Yeah.
So pick up the Milestone Initiative thing. Worst case scenario, it's okay, and you get 12 stories for $4.
Yeah, and I mean, if that's one of the things that I think is starting to become more of a collector's item thing, is a like first time a creator wrote for a big 2 publisher, or the first time they wrote. I'm sure with a lot of these creators, it's the first time they've had any comic published. So you got a ton of creators in there. If somebody hits and ends up writing something prolific later on, it's just cool to have like one of their first stories.
Right.
Yeah. As a collector, I like, Jason Aaron's like a writer I love. Like, can I get my hands on his first published comic? Like, that's cool.
And this will be a cool like con thing too, right?
Oh, you could get so many signatures.
Collect all 24 signatures on here. That would be sick as hell.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Anyway, so pick that up. The books I have read yet so far. I read on AWA Sins of the Salton Sea by Ed Brisson and C.P. Smith.
Solid team already.
Yeah, great. I don't know what C.P. Smith has done, but the art in here was really good. And it got this sick Tim Bradstreet cover. He did like those old Garth Ennis, Jimmy Palmiotti Punisher covers.
Nice.
So this is a crime story. A guy gets brought in by his brother for one last score.
It's always one last score.
It's always one last score, and it always goes wrong. And it did. The hook to the book, though, is, at least in the back matter material, there's going to be a supernatural twist to this. They rob a armored car, and there's no money in it, but there's a woman and a kid in there.
Oh, no. Uh-oh.
So they go to the guy who gave him the tip, and he's like, yeah, I knew there was no money in there, but you had to save this woman and these kids. We don't know why yet, at least in issue 1.
They ate all the money.
Well, so the book ends with the guy. Everybody dies. Everybody dies in this book. So it's just him, this woman, and this kid, basically on the run from people that are chasing them for some kind of reason. The back matter material in here says that this is a cult of some variety.
Oh, nice.
Seems like a pretty cool book. Brisson writes action really well, and this is right up his alley. It's cool. I don't know that I've read an Ed Brisson like crime story. I don't know if he's written some in the past. I haven't read one.
The Violent is incredible.
Is that like a Brisson crime story?
Yeah.
Okay. So this might be similar to that if you like that book. But it was great. It's on AWA.
Nice.
5-issue mini, like a lot of AWA stuff. So not a lot of buy-in.
Right.
I do love that about AWA books.
Easy investment.
Is that I just like know they're going to be low commitment.
Yeah.
Is this going to go for 80 issues? We're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's a creator I love writing one. Great. I'll order all of them on pre-order. I'll save, 30 to 40% off of each issue.
Except for anything Straczynski's writing on there, right? Doesn't he have his own universe in AWA?
I don't buy any of the J. Michaels Straczynski books just because I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Isn't he the new writer for Captain America?
Yeah, and I'm kind of excited about that, actually.
Really? I'm kind of leery because he's plagued with, like...
I know.
Delays and all kinds of stuff.
I know. But if he's writing for Marvel will kick him off that book.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, we'll see. I'm going to buy it, okay? They already sold it.
Okay. All right. We'll at least cover the first issue here.
That's right. But, all right. Sins of the Salton Sea. That was the first one. The other one I read, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter.
Okay. Well, who did this cover? This looks awesome.
I don't know who did this cover, but this is the one I want because 10-year-old me wanted to see Leonardo fighting Ryu, and that's what's on the cover.
Okay, so did you read it?
I did.
How is it?
It's kind of
Oh.
it's interesting. So the first issue revolves around a fight between Raphael and Guile.
Nice.
Which is cool. Like they don't set you up with all this like, oh, we must get the turtles to fight in the street. No, they're just like in the street fight from the get-go.
So like Bison and like Krang aren't like teaming up.
At Baxter Stockton, but yes.
Oh, okay.
That's the team up.
Oh, you know what I heard this week?
What?
A lot of Street Fighter stuff making the rounds because Street Fighter 6 just came out.
Hell yeah.
Right?
It's sick.
Did you know in Japan, a lot of the character names are transposed?
Yes.
Okay, so the M. Bison thing is he was the boxer.
Yeah, he was Balrog.
Yes, right? And,
Really?
Yeah.
And they had to change it because M. Bison was more or less a take on like Mike Tyson.
Yeah, it was exactly Mike Tyson. And they were
Yeah.
like, we cannot have a
Yeah.
boxer named M. Bison.
Yeah, so like you
Because we will get sued.
Yeah, exactly right. So they change him to Balrog.
Yeah.
And then they make the other guy M. Bison.
The bad guy, M. Bison.
Yeah.
That's yep, that's exactly right.
There's a couple other characters in there that have swapped names, but
Yeah.
that's really interesting stuff.
That's the most famous one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Baxter Stockton and M. Bison have teamed up, and what they're trying to do in this most recent tournament that presumably Bison is throwing is to find guys with psycho power. And for those of you that aren't Street Fighter lore nuts, that's like they're trying to find like
It's like what Logan Paul has, right? He's got that psycho power.
Yeah.
Him and Kanye West.
Ezra Miller has a lot of psycho power.
Just brimming with psycho power.
It's more like the Phoenix Force stuff from X-Men, where
Okay.
like only certain people can like host the Phoenix.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's kind of psycho power. So they
There's people who can like shoot
Hadoukens?
energy blasts.
No.
Okay.
That's separate. That's
Okay.
a different thing.
That's not psycho.
Yeah. Psycho power.
How can we ask you so many random questions about the ins and outs of different properties and you always answer so matter-of-factly? Like the fact that your brain can hold all this like nuanced fandom for like micro facts.
That's why he's so good on this show.
Yeah,
That's why he's like our
exactly
friend.
right. Yeah.
Because
this is more like
He's our Google.
Vargas teaches Greg and Mike should be the show.
Look, man.
World according to Vargas.
Any more in this brain, and I wouldn't have a driver's license. Like, I'm at max capacity on bullshit.
I'm gonna have to start deleting files.
Yeah.
Send it to the cloud.
Yeah. So it seems pretty cool. Anyway, the end of the story, they identify Raphael as a potential psycho power.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Guy, and presumably M. Bison's going to try and turn him into like a villain.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
It's pretty cool.
It's a mini, right?
Oh yeah.
There's no way that's an ongoing.
Yeah, it's an ongoing.
Come on.
They have planned 60 issues.
60 issues planned.
Listen, IDW is hemorrhaging right now. They'll take whatever they can get as far as content.
Yeah. So this, I mean, it was pretty fun. Paul Allor wrote it, and Ariel Mendel did the art.
Sweet.
Tom Riley did this cover.
That's a great fucking cover.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really, really great covers for this. Freddie Williams did one that is just like chef's kiss, but they didn't have it.
Chef's pucker.
If you had to pick a main guy, or who's like the good guy of
Tom Hanks,
aside from America's Dad, of Street Fighter,
yeah.
Is it Ken? Is it Ryu? My brain immediately goes to like those two.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Ryu for sure.
Yeah,
It's Ryu's like the guy.
He's the protagonist.
Okay.
He's like the bad boy that all the girls and boys want to kiss, and Ken's the one you want to marry. He's the one that'll treat you right.
Is this your own?
This is my headcanon.
Yeah.
This is my headcanon.
See, I would make the argument that it's flip flop.
Really? You think
Ken's the playboy, Ryu's he's soft spoken.
Yeah.
He's introspective.
He's the wounded warrior.
You can bring him home to mom, and he'll be polite. But
and then he'll break your back in bed.
There it is.
And your bed.
Yeah, he'll give you that dragon uppercut. You know what I mean?
Send you through the fucking roof. Yeah, you'll thank him afterwards.
That's right. So,
was that your question?
Yeah.
Like who's like the main headliner of Street Fighter?
Right. He was the guy.
That's the most fuckable.
I was wondering who's gonna just break your back.
All of them.
Which one's gonna blow your back?
Every one of them. Chung-Li, like every single fucking character.
Zangief. Are you kidding me?
Blanca.
E Honda.
Yeah,
dude, all of them.
There is a new character in Street Fighter 6 that is basically just like this gladiator woman character.
Oh, I've seen fan art.
Mamma mia, she is beautiful.
No,
she's like 8 feet tall.
Yeah,
I'd
make her breakfast every morning. She is just.
Do you remember? There was a Resident Evil game that had
like 6 of them.
That had shut up. There was the problematic one that we don't talk about anymore.
Resident Evil?
Oh yeah. Did you ever play Resident Evil 5, or do you remember anything about it?
No.
Hot take. I like Resident Evil 5.
You like Resident Evil 5?
Yeah.
So it was set in Africa.
Okay, yeah.
And if you know anything about Resident Evil, it's like after a while they stopped looking like zombies and they just look like people with like gross stuff inside of them.
Gotcha.
But if you just jump into the Resident Evil game, it's just like a white guy from America shooting tons and tons of black people.
Yeah.
It's like, how did this get so far in production without someone being like, no, we're not sending someone to a third world country to just like shoot mobs and mobs of Africans. Yeah. Like, it is fucked up.
It's okay. He has a black partner.
You watch the trailer of it now and you're like, they made this? It is like baffling.
Yeah.
Racism, the game.
Yeah.
Well, and I think they did this. I think they were trying to follow the success of Resident Evil 4, which was another one that was set like in a foreign country.
Yeah, but it was a white guy shooting white guys.
But it was
in Europe.
Yes, exactly right. They were like they were Spanish.
Yeah.
Which when you hear them speak like I don't know if they're speaking Portuguese in it, but they're technically colonizers. So it's like you can wrap your head a little bit around like shooting these colonizers infected with like a zombie parasite. But when you The Resident Evil 5, I was just like, I can't play this.
Yeah, this is rough. I can't play any of those games because, one, they are scary, and two, the controls are very fucking hard.
4 is one of my favorite games of all time.
Same. But you were talking about Resident Evil Village with giant vampire mommy.
Yes.
Oh, I remember her.
That was a like online phenomena where people were just like, oh, this woman, I will do anything for you. You
step on me.
8 foot tall goddess. It's so fun. I think it's so funny to see the like fascination with like unbelievably tall women and how people are just like, oh my god,
Goo goo fucking gaga.
like, yeah,
Pick me up and cradle me.
Yeah, like you create this like fictional 8 foot, 9 foot tall woman, and just nerds all over the internet are just like, how can I make this real?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, they're not flipping out over like a 2-foot woman.
Futurama started it, man.
Yeah.
Death by Snoo.
Death by Snoo Snoo.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I think that is where it awoken in me of just like, oh, Mamma Mia. That would be, what a way to die.
Well, that's how you record an episode of the First Issue Club.
Before we sound off, remember, if you want more of this, go to patreon.com/firstissueclub. Head on over to firstissueclub.com. We have a new segment up there that we have collaborated on with the Mutant Puke podcast of basically we created a soundtrack to listen to while you read comics. And so this month's theme is Spider-Man 2099. So we have a lot of songs about the future and a lot of aggressive
that's cool.
chords and stuff. So we have some Coheed and Cambria on there, some Robots by Flight of the Conchords, Swan Song by Fellowship. So go over there and check it out. firstissueclub.com. Head over to the blog section, and the Spotify link is up there. So we want to thank the crew over at the Mutant Puke podcast for collaborating on that with us.
Hell yeah. Those guys are dope.
That's awesome.
I'm actually fucking amped up because I was talking to him about it, and he has like all these plans for different playlists for different characters. I'm just like, yeah, dude, like send them over.
Yeah.
This is rad. And there are some songs in here I've never heard before that I was just like, there's a song by this band called Dwellings called Devices that I was just blaring. It was so good.
Nice.
Sounds like new metal.
It's actually not. It's kind of like it's like an emo new metal, not new metal, but emo like rock shit.
Yeah, okay.
So go check it out. See if you like it.
Sick. Love it.
Bye. First Issue Club is edited and produced by Mike DeStacy, Greg Lichtag, and Andy Vargas. Follow us on social media at First Issue Club, and check out our Patreon for videos, audio, and more at patreon.com/firstissueclub.